A film called Nursery Rhymes in 1933 was in this three-stripe or two-stripe Technicolor. And it was incredible to see my father at age 35 knocking his friends around. It's really a great film.
All right, I got a batch of phone calls from all across America that want to talk, people who want to talk with you about the Three Stooges and your pop, and we'll get to that right after these words from our sponsors.
The moment of discovery. You've thought of a brilliant new idea. You've hit upon a new way of solving an old problem, or you've invented a new product that no one has ever thought of before. You've experienced the moment of discovery. So now the question is, what do you do with your innovative idea? Well, here's the answer for you. Call the Innovation Center in Washington, D.C. for free information on how to launch a new product. All you've got to do is dial 1-800-628-2828, and the Innovation Center will send you free information so you can make a formal dated record of your proposed new product. The Innovation Center attends invention trade shows all over the world and sells inventions through the Invention Store in Crystal City, Virginia. So when you experience that moment of discovery, dial 1-800-628-2828. All you've got to do is pick up one of the greatest inventions, the telephone, and dial 11 numbers. That's 1-800-628-2828. 1-800-628-2828. 800-628-2828.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
I decided to make my family a homemade Italian spaghetti dinner.
Well, I'm Antonio, my Italian gourmet market with the place to come to. Here you go.
What's this?
Prego spaghetti sauce.
No, I want the individual ingredients like
It's in there.
Oregano
It's in there.
and basil
It's in there.
and garlic.
It's in there.
Are you trying to tell me everything, even the herbs and spices, are in this jar of Prego spaghetti sauce?
Put your nose up against the jar. What do you see?
It's in there.
In there, yeah. How about some nice bread?
Yeah,
Go.
Prego spaghetti sauce in original and extra chunky varieties. Homemade taste. It's in there. Hassles. You don't need problems when you go to a printer. You need printing. A lot of printers don't understand that. With one notable exception, American Speedy Printing Centers. We have a very good idea of what you want. Top quality, no mistakes, good price, on time. And if you're not satisfied with our quality, we'll reprint your order at no extra cost. Next time, see us. Because anything less just isn't worth the hassle. American Speedy Printing Centers. America's real printers. Over 475 locations in North America.
Welcome to the downright fantastic Suzuki deal, Mr.
Raymond J. Johnson Jr., but you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay.
Participating
or you can
Suzuki
call me
motorcycle and
Johnny.
quad runner dealers have downright fantastic deals, like 88 Intruder 750s for incredibly low monthly payments, 88 quads for no down payment with approved Suzuki credit. Plus, check out all the 88s, including the new Katana 600, because with Suzuki's retail financing, every deal is downright fantastic.
Oh, you doesn't have to call it downright fantastic. You can call them downright amazing.
For Mrs. Paul's fish steaks, here's Mr. Paul.
I've been after the missus to call her crispy, crunchy fish steaks crispy, crunchy fillet steaks. Why not? The fillet is the best part of the fish, and it's the only part the missus ever uses. She won't put her picture on the box, neither. And she's a fine-looking woman.
Mrs. Paul's crispy, crunchy fish steaks, made from fillets and nothing but fillets.
If it's not Mrs. Paul's, throw it back.
Now, back to the Tom Snyder Show, an exclusive presentation of Buffalo's first radio station, WGR 550.
Okay, we're back with Joan Howard Moorer. Her book is called Moe Howard and the Three Stooges by Citadel. And we have Kevin on the line from Livingston, New Jersey. Hi, Kevin. Won't you go ahead, please?
Oh, thanks, Tom. I love your show. I have
Thank
to
you.
tell you. And last night I almost panicked when I spoke with Barbara, and she told me that that Joan was going to be on the first hour because we don't get you until the second hour here.
Right, I understand that.
And I did want to call up and get on the phone, and I've been listening very intently. I just wanted to thank Joan for her book, the Three Stooges scrapbook, because I bought that about 5 years ago, and I also bought her dad's book, and I really cried at the part where he described Curly having his unfortunate stroke during the filming of the 97th episode, Half-Wit's Holiday. And I guess I wanted to find out for my own edification what it was like living, or having parties with, family gatherings with Dad and her two uncles, Shemp and Jerome or Curly, and exactly if, in fact, Curly had suffered some kind of problem before that, because his speech sounded a little bit slurred the last 2 years prior to that.
Well, I think you're right about the him having small strokes before the large one, because if you watch those films, he wasn't the same person in the last 3 years of his career. as far as getting together as a family with all of the Stooges, it didn't really work out that way through the years. My father, when he'd do 8 shorts a year, and you can imagine how much time that took with the writing, and he went away for 12 weeks of vaudeville. By the time he got done with that and running around with his Stooge cronies, when he got home again, he just wanted to be with the family. Yeah. So once in a real while, weddings, Christmas, we got together.
Right. And I noticed that the only Curly feature film that he did with Moe and Larry was Rockin' in the Rockies, and I have never seen that on TV. Is there any chance, I think it was an hour or hour and a half film, can that be seen anywhere?
Gee, I really don't know, and I'm not even sure who. Do you know whether it was a Columbia picture?
Yes, it was.
Uh-huh. Well, it might be interesting to see it one day. I'll ask the powers that be to show it to me and make some suggestions.
And, Tom, is there a number where I can get in touch with the Three Stooges fan club? Because I didn't get that. I was listening on the phone because I tried about 3 years ago to get in touch, and something came back.
Yeah, wait a second. Joan's got a current address. Go ahead.
All right, it's Gary Lassin, Lassin. It's 710 Collins Avenue. That's Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Lansdale is Lansdale, 19446.
Okay.
And he does a wonderful job at it, very professional.
Well, I appreciate it, and it was just a pleasure, and thank you. And I know it's been 13 years since your dad's been gone, and I cried that day, and I thought it was just very unusual that both he and Larry passed on within months of each other, and it was just very sad for me, having been born in 1952 and being a baby boomer, growing up with them. They just gave me hundreds of hours of laughter and enjoyment, and it's just hard to believe, that they're gone.
Anyway, thank you, because not everybody's father has that love.
Yes, it's great.
All right.
Pleasure talking with you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. All right, good night. Now, here's Edwina in Yucca Valley, California. Edwina, won't you go ahead, please?
Hello.
Hi.
I'd like to tell you that I enjoyed your father, your 2 uncles. I'm 32 years old. Every Saturday and Sunday I watch them.
There's a woman out there that loves him. See? I told you, Tom.
But I'm married.
No, what? Oh, darn.
I know.
Sorry, Jack. We can't.
Well, some you win, some you lose.
There you go. Some you win, some you lose. Thanks, Edwina.
Thanks so much.
All right, bye-bye. Here's Ron in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hello, Ron. You're on the air.
Yeah. Hi, Tom.
Hi.
And Joan.
Hi there.
Joan, first of all, I've been a Three Stooges fan all my life, a baby boomer, the same old thing. And I can't get over how much you sound like your dad. And that's fascinating to listen to.
Wow, that's the first time I was told that.
I mean, it's obvious. And I wonder if the other people notice it too. If Moe were a woman, I'm sure that's exactly what he sounds like.
Well, I'd have to go around saying, you knucklehead or something.
Well, you don't have to get carried away, but that was fascinating. I wanted to mention that. I have a million other little ones, and I'll just rattle them off, and then maybe you could answer a few.
Okay.
The families of the others, I know you started to mention about that. Larry's kids, did he have any? Shem's kids, the other family people. Also, I met your dad when I was about 6 or 7 at Glen Echo Amusement Park in Washington. They were doing a personal appearance there. And I can remember never being so shocked in my life as to be walking along and see them standing there, So that was a great memory. Off-screen, did your dad have any particular interests or hobbies that would be more, the common person could relate to?
Yes.
And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Hobbies that...
Okay. Hobbies. In the later years, he loved to work with pottery. And I have a lot of the art objects around my house. Wonderful, practical things, like a piece of pottery that looks like a half a cantaloupe, and you just put a lump of ice cream in it. And on the back of every piece of artwork that he did, he put a little Moe face, a little cartoon.
Right.
So that makes it kind of neat.
We're talking about your dad. Where was your mom in all of this? What was she just being a mom and taking care of the house?
She was incredible. She was a lady, and she was the center of his world. He just idolized her. And, but she was, in fact, in the very early years, she wrote she didn't write it, she wrote the treatment for, or the springboard for one of the shorts, and I don't know if the fans are aware of that. It was the one called Hoi Polloi, based on Pygmalion, as My Fair Lady was, and the Stooges were garbage collectors, and could they, environment heredity, change them? And she had the option of having a screen credit or $50, and she chose the $50.
She was a good lady.
Very smart.
When it came to doing special effect or stunt work in these shorts, did they do their own or did they have doubles?
Well, if you want to I wouldn't call their day-to-day comedy stunt work, but they got hurt many times. They would have to fall through a table, say. The special effects man would score the table, which means to saw it through halfway, and then when you hit it, it would break in half, hopefully. This time it didn't. My dad cracked several ribs. But when it came to the really scary kind of stunts, like they were football players in the film Three Little Pigskins, 5 or 6 250 or 80-pounder real professional football players were supposed to land at them at the end of this scene.
You mean land on top of them?
Right. And so...
No. I hate that when that happens. I don't like that.
You don't?
No.
Okay, so they said that to the director, who happened to have been trying to watch Columbia's money, and he didn't want to get, stuntmen for them, or doubles is the word I want. You're right. So finally, they refused to do the scene. They had the doubles do it, and at the end of the scene, I think 2 out of the 3 doubles had broken arms and legs. The third one, the only reason he wasn't broken up is he was a thin man that was padded to look like curly,
guy, right.
and he had a little bit of a buffer to save him.
Okay. What about like when they do the frying pan? Boing! Did anybody ever get hurt in the head?
All right. Well, most of those objects were made out of foam rubber or something very soft, and the special effects, the sound effect was the genius of those films.
Okay.
They might use a saw going across a piece of metal to represent. Some of the things are fascinating that they used. I wish I could remember now. The plucking of the hairs out of Larry's head was some wild instrument.
Boing!
Exactly.
We will continue. I've got more calls waiting for Joan Howard Moyer. Her book is called Moe Howard and the Three Stooges. It's by Citadel. We'll be right back after these words from the affiliated radio stations.
It's a pathway that leads from here to tomorrow, from sea to shining sea. The great American road belongs to Buick. Oh, it's the feeling of movement, of power and grace. The road up ahead in command. Yeah, the great American road belongs to Buick.
In a new survey, 1,000 doctors were asked if stranded on a desert island, what's the one medicine they'd want along? Tylenol, extra-strength Tylenol, Advil, or Bayer aspirin. More doctors chose Bayer, even more than last time. 3-to-1 over extra-strength Tylenol, 6-to-1 over Advil. More doctors chose Bayer than ever before, shouldn't you? Bayer, the wonder drug that works wonders. Now available in caplets. Use only as directed.
Chasing the chills away from a rainy day, something to warm you up. Wrap your hands around it. America's Cup, America's Cup, lifting copper soup. A cozy fireside feeling, feels so good inside. America's Cup, lifting copper soup. America's Cup.
To my dear old IBM Correcting Selectric typewriter. You've been great, but I found something better. A new IBM typewriter. The latest one can reprint a page automatically, and if I trade you in, I can get up to $250 off any model I want. I'll still think of you every time my fingers touch the new keyboard because it feels just as good as you do. After all, you're related.
See your participating authorized IBM typewriter dealer by May 31st for top trade-in values.
Now Tidy Cat 3 is a hard-working cat box filler. Oh, Tidy Cat 3. When you go in. It deodorizes better. Absorbs like a real go-getter. Leaves no dust, no tracks around. Tidy Cat 3.
I'm L. My Tidy Cat 3 is 99% dust-free. It's cleaner and healthier for your cat. And with my Tidy Cat 3 cat box liners, you may never have to wash your cat box again.
Okay, Whack, in this hour tomorrow night, because, the Tonight Show has been off the air because of the writer's strike, we're very fortunate tomorrow night. The guys aren't working, so tomorrow, Johnny Carson, Doc Severinsen, and Ed McMahon will all be here tomorrow night in this hour of the radio show. April Fool. Had you going, though, didn't I, huh? Actually, our guest is Jack Farrow, who's a corporate prankster, and I got to tell you, if there's one thing our corporation loves, it's a lot of pranks, so we'll have a big time with Jack here tomorrow night. We're on the air now with Joan Howard Moore, about the Three Stooges and Moe Howard and the Three Stooges, a wonderful, colorful book filled with tons of pictures by Citadel Press. And Matt is on the air from Santa Monica, California. Matt, won't you go ahead, please?
Hi, Tom. Hi, Joan.
Hi there.
You know, it's nothing funnier when you're talking to your buddies from college who are now big corporate attorneys and have positions in large corporations. You hear them on their speakerphone saying, "Why, you shout ahead. If you don't get that project out, you're finished."
I love it.
Every weekend we'd sit and watch the Stooges in college, and I guess it's carried over into the rest of our lives.
Right.
Couple questions. Who wrote the Three Stooges theme?
They were both public domain, or whatever the word is for music, when they don't have to pay.
That's it, public
domain. And that's why they used it.
And what are those songs? I don't know the name.
I'll see if I can remember now. Three Blind Mice.
Right.
And Listen to the Mockingbird. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And might be a third one.
Yeah, the third one.
You hum it to me. Maybe I'll...
Do it again. Do it again.
What song is that?
Listen, you chowderhead, you keep humming like that, you're never coming on this show again.
Why, you oughta.
I'm not. That one is Listen to the Mockingbird. I don't know. I think it's in one of the books.
My two favorite episodes were Three Little Beers and Women Haters. And Women Haters was done in kind of like a poetry style. Got any information on that one?
Well, there was a very famous songwriter that was involved in that film, and I guess he wanted to use his expertise, and that's how it came about. I don't remember his name now, but it was really not the Stooges. Like, Larry was the key man in the entire short, if you remember.
Right.
And but it had a lot of charm. I liked it.
Thank you, Matt.
They're the greatest.
Good night. Good night, Matt.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Here's Scott in Racine, Wisconsin. Hello, Scott. You're on the air.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Joan, I just want to comment on your book. I think it's a tremendous book. I was when it first came out, and I still pick it up every couple of months and go through it again. It's just great. But,
thank you.
The thing that I really love about it is the pictures and the off-screen pictures too, and especially their hairstyles. They're so much different than they appeared on film.
Right. My father used to. He just could comb his hair back, just whip out a comb and comb it back. And, every once in a while a kid would come up to him and say, "Well, show me your hair," and he'd take the comb and comb it down. And he got a kick out of it.
But, and you were mentioning before, Three Little Pigskins. Didn't Curly get burned in that one?
That rings a bell.
They were roasting him?
Oh, no, I don't think that was that film, but I think he fell down it was supposed to look like he was falling down a dumbwaiter, and they had framed it in wood and covered it with like foam rubber so he wouldn't get hurt. And I guess in his fall he missed the foam rubber and hit the wood, and he was injured in that film. Right. So you're probably right.
Oh, I was thinking of when he was in the block of ice and they tried to thaw him out, and they had him on a spit. And the wind caught the flames, and he got seared by the...
He did, but that was not in Three Little Pigskins.
Oh.
I don't know all the shorts, but that one, I happen to have used it in a book, and I remember it.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks so much.
Okay, listen, you can't remember how many, 183?
Oh, 190 shorts.
Who can keep it all straight in one brain?
Right.
I thank you for coming on here tonight. It's been a big night for this audience. I can tell by our phone response. And, again, much appreciation for helping us do the show about the Three Stooges.
You're welcome.
Okay, my guest has been Joan Howard Moore, and one of the books is called, there are a lot of them, but the one that I have in my hand, the big yellow one with all the guys in the front, is called Moe Howard and the Three Stooges. It's by Citadel Press. I'm Tom Snyder. If your radio station is staying, we're coming right back. If not, I thank you all for listening. You're on the radio show for the last of March, 1988, in the history of the known world.
Devil